Now, we all know that Donald Trump won the election, but Donald Trump has gone after Ann Seltzer, her polling firm, the Des Moines Register, the newspaper, and even its parent company, Gannett. And here's what's really chilling, Ari. He's actually going after them for violations, he says, of the Iowa Consumer Fraud Act, right? So we're not talking about freedom of the press here. We're talking about going after something else. And this is what authoritarian leaders in other countries have done to try to silence journalists, is not just suing them for defamation or what they said, but trying to go after them in other ways that can be very hard to legally fight off and deal with.
Yeah. Howard, I'm curious what you see here in the political side of this. These are political efforts to change how people act or change coverage or have some impact. And ABC is going to make its own decisions. But it was widely covered that the case was not an obvious loss by any means. And their statement, which I referred to, doesn't say, and again, I'm referring to what ABC says, that they made a material, important, factual mistake. The statement just says they regret the statement that was made about Trump. Your thoughts on all of that, Howard?
I think we're in big trouble. I mean, Kamala Harris, when she was running saying democracy was in the ballot, now I think people are beginning to understand. This really all started in 2000 when the Supreme Court in a 5-4 partisan majority chose the next president. Now, I think Bush would have been elected anyway had they gone through the proper congressional process. But the fact is, the Supreme Court, in a partisan decision, decided not to count a whole lot of votes in Florida. Today, we have a Supreme Court that's bound up in partisanship, and we have a Supreme Court where there's corruption. We have a Supreme Court where 33% of the American people actually think it's doing its job. I think there's very little protection. And I think a lot of these CEOs, I believe that decision to give Trump his library $15 million was made by Bob Iger of Disney, who's the CEO of Disney, who owns ABC. The same stuff that you saw when Bezos pulled the anti-Trump endorsement by the newspaper that he owns, the Washington Post. Same stuff you see going out in Los Angeles, where the owner of the paper is now censoring everything that goes into the paper to make sure it doesn't say anything about Trump. We are on much thinner ice than I think most Americans believe in. And maybe they're all very angry, as one of your guests said. But democracy really is worth something. And as Winston Churchill said, it's the worst form of government except for every other. And we are fairly close to, if this falls, protection of free speech, which Trump is absolutely going to attack, then I think the country is pretty much done for as we know it.
Yeah, strong words. Libby, I want to ask you as well about some of this new reporting from Wall Street Journal about President Biden and his aides, which is interesting. I haven't hit that yet this hour, so we're going to pull that up. But before we get to that, Howard, your final